Stun cuffing is a very essential part of combat in Space Station 14, especially so if you're going to be playing something like a security officer who will probably have to handcuff at least one person a shift on low roleplay. Higher levels of roleplay, maybe not as often, but having to handcuff at least one person is pretty standard gameplay for security, and being able to do it quickly can mean the difference between life or death. I'm not going to explain the full mechanics of stunning, I have done so in previous videos, and this is for people who are just trying to learn how to handcuff somebody quicker. So when you stun somebody with any form of stamina stun, be a stun baton, disabler, whatever, the person will be stunned for 6 full seconds. And that is 6 seconds until they gain a few seconds of immunity to extra stamina damage, and to the point they can move again. It takes 3.5 seconds to fully apply handcuffs. That means from the moment they are stunned, you have 2.5 seconds of leeway before they stand back up. They technically can't move fully out of the handcuff range the second they get up, so in reality you probably have more like 3 to 3.5 seconds to get the handcuffs off before it's too late. But it is a very fast process, and the difference between 3 seconds can be them getting back up and killing you, or you dying before you get the cuffs on, whatever. In order to stun and cuff effectively, there are a few easy tips. Number one is using hotkeys. Shift E will always take the most recent item put into your belt. So if you have a security belt, you can put your stun baton and your cuffs in your belt. Shift E will take it, and Shift E will put it right back if it's your selected item. And the star will always indicate what is the next item if you do not remember the order that your inventory was in. Shift B is for your backpack, and just like it's the same exact concept here, it puts it back as well and goes from most recent item to last item in your inventory in priority. So if I pick these handcuffs up and Shift B, put them in my backpack, they're now the first thing in my backpack. You don't even have to have the UI open, it will just remember it. So one method, as you can probably figure out pretty quickly, I actually bound the quick take from inventory to my side mouse buttons, so I can get my stun baton and handcuffs out in, basically instantly. This time swapping hands takes more time than the actual hotkey itself. That is really all you have to do here. So at this point, my stun baton is first, so you're going to already have that out when you're fighting somebody. So as long as your handcuffs for next, you don't need to do any fumbling with your inventory slots. You don't have to have the UI open. So I can just stun them, and the second they hit the ground, press Shift E to pull my handcuffs out of my belt, and you can apply handcuffs when you're in harm mode. And of course, you want to grab them at any time during this, because they can't move from you if they are grabbed. If you wish to free up your hands, you could put your weapons away, and if there's a chair nearby, you could chain them to the chair, and then they can't move if you need to go clean up the crime scene real quick, put things away, manage your inventory better, whatever you gotta do. Stun cuffing is really simple. It's just a matter of using your hotkeys successfully. Another method that you could very easily do is just leave it on your pocket, and then you don't have to even do hotkeys. You just stun baton them. As soon as they get low, press X to swap hands, pick your handcuffs, and just click them. You don't even have to leave harm mode. And even with taking the time to mess with UI inventory, without hotkeys, anyone can do this. Just, you have to make sure that you have your stun baton in your hand. If you're just really not comfortable with working the UI that quickly or using hotkeys, you can even drop the swapping hands part of this. You can just stun baton them. I don't recommend this method. You can then, as soon as they're stunned, drop it, and then just click the handcuffs. That way you don't have to press X to swap hands, and that way it technically does leave less room for fumbling over keys, because dropping the baton is a guaranteed action. You'll see it happen, where swapping your hands requires looking at just this slight blue outline to make sure that you're actually gonna take out the right item. My closing statements: using your pocket slots to handcuff is a little safer, because if you try to just click your handcuffs with the baton still in your hand, nothing bad happens. So for example, if this is in your belt and you mess up and you store your stun baton, well, now if you panic, you'll just pull your stun baton right back out. So the pockets method is a little slower but safer, and doesn't require memorizing what's in your backpack or belt. Dropping the baton is probably the most guaranteed way of getting your cuffs off, but has the highest risk, because if you mess up and they get back up, they're just going to take your baton. But yeah, really, it's honestly a simple concept. It's a matter of using your hotkeys. Remember, Shift B by default, quick takes from backpack and quick puts in your backpack. Shift E by default, quick takes from the tool belt and puts it in your tool belt. Well, not necessarily tool belt, just items in your tool belt slot, like a chest rig, that type of thing. Thank you for watching.